Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. First, I want to get a couple movies out of the way, because I keep seeing movies. Since I feel like I've seen plenty of movies with my Movie Pass this month, I've gotten my $10 worth, and I had heard that the 3D was really good, so I decided to once again pay for a 3D ticket to Ready Player One. Now, I know a lot of people have said the book is terrible, but I've never read the book. The book is apparently, like, the big complaint against the book is that it's like just a series of pop culture references strung together into a vague story. But I never read it, and I feel like that's actually fine in a movie where the pop culture references can just be visual background noise. The actual movie, I mean, it's fine. It's Steven Spielberg, so, like, he always knows how to make an entertaining movie. Like, every movie of his, it's good. It's gonna be quality. Can't say I've seen a Steven Spielberg movie that I, like, hated sitting through. I haven't seen all of his movies, though, so who knows. But, like, he knows how to make a film. So, it's fine. If you think about it too hard, there's problems. I don't know why this bothered me so much. Like, you're talking about a movie in which society, it's like a dystopian society where everyone, their lives are miserable, so they retreat into this virtual world and they pretty much live in this virtual world. And, like, fine, I get it. I love to escape into my video games and my video game worlds, so, like, I get that. It would have been interesting to see how people actually manage to live while doing this, because I know that as much as I would love to live in my video game worlds a lot, I have to still, like, you know, eat and go to work and stuff in order to be able to buy those video games and pay rent to have a place where I can play those video games. But it irked me so much that, like, you see people using the VR goggles with, you know, gloves and occasionally, like, a full body haptic suit so that they can feel things all over. But there are people walking down the streets with their goggles on, like, doing stuff. And I'm just like, how do you do that? Like, that doesn't make any logical sense. Unless it's like a Google Glass kind of thing where you can, like, see the real world and the virtual world at the same time, but then I feel like that would just give you a headache. Like, I know when I play PlayStation VR, I don't even like light creeping in. I don't want any outside sensory perception. It ruins the illusion. But it's fine. Like, it's an entertaining movie, and it's hard to talk about my favorite parts because the things in the movie that I love, like, it's hard to just say, oh, I like this part and that part, and this is really good, because you're spoiling all of the fun Easter eggs and pop culture references and things, and when this character shows up and that character and that reference and whatever. And you don't want to spoil that for people. After I got out of the movie, I was in the Barnes & Noble next door to the theater, and I overheard a guy on the phone, like, in the other aisle, like, literally describing every single character. They're like, then this person showed up, then that person showed up, and it was really cool when this person showed up, and I'm just like, oh my god, you're literally spoiling this movie for that person. I hope they have no intention of seeing it. Because those little surprises and like, there's one section of the movie that's, like, super awesome, but I can't tell you why, because it's more fun if you just watch it, and then suddenly this happens, and you're like, oh my god, look where they are, and this is super cool. And it's fun and funny. It's super entertaining, and the 3D was great. Like, the 3D in the virtual world, there's so much stuff, like, in the battle scenes, there's stuff flying at you, and there's a racing scene where you're just like, ah! It's so great. And I'm really hoping that Warner's doesn't skimp and does actually put out a 3D Blu-ray, so that I can watch this again and again at home in 3D in awesomeness. And now on the other end of the scale, I just saw, this one I used Movie Pass for, because it was a regular movie. I saw Love, Simon, which Okay, I know people were saying, like, it's super cliched, it's a cliche teen movie, it's kind of ridiculous, but you're gonna cry. Oh my god, I should have brought tissues. Like, seriously, like, there were multiple points in this film where I was, like, getting teary. And then, like, the last half hour or so, I was like, woo, woo. Oh my god. I will say, it's not perfect. It's too long. And there's a plot complication at the end, towards the end, where his friends turn on him because he had to do terrible things, and it's all very complicated. And I feel like that kind of, like, overly complicates the whole coming out thing. But I love the idea that, as cliched and, like, wish fulfillment as this movie is, because, you know, everything's all good, and it's happy. He comes out and everyone's okay with it, except for a couple of bullies, you know, and everyone's fine with it, and it's, like, all good. The fact that you can get a romantic comedy starring a gay male teenager is crazy to me. And the fact that it did really well, it's crazy to me. Because when I was a teenager, I didn't have movies like this. It was the 80s. It was very different. Very different. So, like, they never made movies like this when I was a kid. But for the kids of today, I'm super glad that they're making these movies now. It's not the best movie. It's not super, you know, realistic. But that's great, because the heterosexual teens got their wish fulfillment movies. I watched so many movies about straight teenagers falling in love and having romance and all of that, and I was like, that would be nice if that could happen to me someday, but that'll never happen to me because I'm not allowed to have that, because I'm wrong. So to have a movie that's like a cliched John Hughes wish fulfillment fantasy romance starring a gay man, that's amazing! And it made me feel like, and if I had seen that as a teenager, I would have come out as a teenager. Because this would have said to me, you know what? It's okay. But back then, it was not okay, and I was terrified. So, there you go. But, you know, it's a bit much, but it's wonderful, and I just love the fact that it even exists. That's great. As for gaming, I'm super disappointed because Square Enix just announced that Dragon Quest XI will be out this September, which is exciting. However, that's on the PS4 and the PC, and it will be on the Switch much later. So that's super disappointing, because being a giant RPG, I would much rather have that on a portable system where I can play it wherever, and I will make more progress in it, such as I did with Skyrim. I would never have finished Skyrim on a home console. I didn't do very well with it back when I had it on my 360. So to have Dragon Quest XI on my PS4, it's going to take me a long time to finish. If I had it on the Switch, I might finish it a lot faster, because I would have more time and opportunity to play it. However, I don't feel like waiting until 2019 to play this game. And who knows when in 2019 that's going to actually be. I don't know, that much later is a pretty vague term. So my options are, I play it on the PS4 in September, happily, and take my time, or wait until some undetermined date in 2019 and get it for the Switch. It's super annoying. I'm hoping that by the time September rolls around, we'll have a better sense of when it'll show up on the Switch, and maybe they can give a better estimate of a date. If they can't give a real date, maybe we can get an estimate of a date, because if they're going to say, like, oh, first quarter 2019, and it's like January, February, I would probably wait. But if they're saying it's not going to be out until, like, the summer of 2019, then fuck it, I'm getting it in September of 2018, because I'm not waiting another year to play this game. Unless I have plenty of backlog and I don't need to play it. I don't know. We'll see what my mood is like at the time that it comes out in September. Because if it gets great reviews and whatever, maybe I'll have to cave and get it for the PS4 and just suck it up. Or if it's like a Ni no Kuni situation where I've got something I'm playing right now and I can wait, maybe I'll wait on Dragon Quest and play it on the Switch at some point the following year. Whatever, we've waited this long for it, what's another year? Because I'm still playing Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm a little perturbed that, like, you do a main story mission to, you know, discover a new planet and try to make it habitable for humans and other races, and, not to be racist, and that then unlocks, like, 50 Humpty Jillion side quests on that planet. And I'm just like, oh my god, there's so many side quests in this game, I'm never gonna finish. Like, I literally, on one of the planets, was like, you know what? We're moving to the next planet. Maybe I'll come back. Maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. Because I can't do every single side quest or I will never finish this game. I won't finish this game until 2019, and then I can play Dragon Quest XI. Although I was a little worried that at one point, I thought I broke it, and that I was like, you know what, I guess I will be able to play Ni no Kuni very soon, because I'm certainly not going to go back and start Mass Effect Andromeda over again. After like, unlocking the 3 monoliths on a planet, you then go to the underground area to activate the technology that then terraforms the planet and makes it nicer and more habitable. But the problem is that I left the monolith, and I said, okay, where do I need to go? Oh, all the way over there. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to fast travel to this marker over here, and then just work my way down, because that'll just take a little less time. I fast traveled, and then somehow fell through the world, and then ended up landing at a different fast travel point marker, and then the world just sort of, like, haphazardly filled in around me, and I'm like, how did I get over here? I meant to fast travel over there, and it was, oh my god, I thought I broke the game. Because literally wherever I went to go, I would sink down into the world, and, like, I felt like I was underwater, and, like, everything was messed up, and nothing was right, and I was just like, oh my god, this is horrible, oh my god, what have I done? And I was like, this is the worst. So, I went back a few save points, and it still was messed up. Like, I went back to the save point to activate the final monolith, but then there were these, like, invisible walls that I couldn't get through, and then there were some visible walls that just randomly appeared for no reason, and I worked my way around them, but then there were invisible walls that I couldn't get past, and I was just like, oh shit, I broke this game. And this is a game-breaking glitch that I can't progress, so I think I might be done with it. But I did actually go back, and I did find a save point at the beginning of the Monolith quest where I was able to work my way through, and this time activate it, and this time I did not fast travel, I walked my way over there, and everything was fine. It took longer, but I didn't break the game by trying to fast travel. Although now that I've progressed even further in the game, I have fast traveled and it's been fine, so I don't know what the deal was that. There are still graphical glitches. I mean, I was having a conversation with some characters, and one of them suddenly, like, split in two, and you had, like, they were, like, doubled up, and he had 2 heads, and it was freakish and weird. But those are fine. They're, like, cosmetic. This was a glitch that, like, literally broke the game, and you could no longer play it. So that's bad. But I'm gonna keep trying to play this game, and hopefully finish it. And hopefully there won't be a bug in it that breaks the game and makes me not able to finish it, because that'll piss me off. Because I'm like, guys, like, it's one thing to release a game with a little bit of few graphical glitches and bugs and whatever, and then eventually patch them or whatever. But this game has had a bunch of patches already, and, like, that still happened, so that's not cool. So, make proper games, people. Please. I'd like to buy a game and play it and not have horrible bad things happen that break it. So that's it for me this week, and I'll see you next time, and I will talk about other things. I'll probably have seen more movies, and maybe I'll try some new games. You don't know. You have to come back and find out.